Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another Transfer Talk Roundup show. Aston Villa have been busy yet again in the January transfer window. So we'll get right into it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've passed 5,000 now, on the road to 10K. So please do help us get there. Like, subscribe, and get your comments in below. Your thoughts on Villa. Now they are busy in the transfer window. We've made our second signing by all accounts. Andres Garcia from Levante has now agreed a deal for around about £6 million, 21-year-old right back from Levante and in Serie B, La Liga 2. We featured him yesterday. We talked a bit about him yesterday because he kind of just burst onto the scene in terms of a right back. We know we'd been in the market for numerous right backs. Wesley Francha, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago. Then it was all about Oscar Mingueza. And that's kind of gone by the wayside. I've just read a report that the talks have broken down. But this player is more of a traditional right back / winger. 6'1", 21 years of age, played 47 league senior games for Levante, scoring 4 goals, and came through their B team, scoring 1 goal in 31 appearances. As I said, we kind of talked about him yesterday, but we will show his SofaScore stats just so you guys can get a bit of a flavour for what to expect. Like I say, right back can push forward as well. Has had a good season so far for Levante. Obviously, the standard of football is not the Premier League. We know that. But could he show signs of... Obviously, he's shown signs of being able to play at a higher level. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put in the money for him. But is he going to feature and put pressure on in the first team? That's the question. Now, looking at his SofaScore kind of heat map, very much up and down that wing. So must have a good engine, must be able to get forward. Played 22 games this season, 22 starts, pretty much played every minute of every game, has scored 3 goals already this season. 1 from inside the box, 2 from outside the box. 2 goals with his left foot, which is interesting. So cutting inside and shooting with his left foot, and 1 with his right foot. 3 assists, 9 big chances created. Now, looking at the standard of the football, obviously, if he's a player who is better than that level, he's going to stand out. So he's going to find it more difficult in the Premier League. But the raw materials are always what Unai Emery looks for. And can he find something in him? Can he fine-tune him to make him into a real player? And that's where you get the bargains. Look at Morgan Rogers. Look at some of the other players that Unai Emery's turned into absolute stars. So this is what we'll be looking at. 78% in terms of passing accuracy per game, 87% in his own half, 62% in the opposition half. Been part of 4 clean sheets, 4.4 ball recoveries, 2.2 clearances per game, and in the high 40s percentage-wise in terms of duels won, ground duels, and 45% in terms of successful dribble. So could he be that real kind of competition for Matty Cash on that right-back spot? Can he really push us and drive us forward and get beyond, say, a Leon Bailey or whoever else is playing on that right-hand side, if it's Marlon? Can he get beyond them and really help to have both sides of the pitch now attacking? We know we like to attack on the left-hand side. Luca Dean doesn't always get to that byline, but we know Ian Maatsen does. Can Andres Garcia do the same on that right-hand side and almost be, these two, Maatsen and Garcia, could they be the new breed of right-back at Villa? So it's going to be interesting to see. Nedeljkovic looks like he's going to go out on loan to Wolfsburg in Germany, so that could be good experience for him. And then almost, you can see that those two, maybe if he really develops, Garcia and Nedeljkovic really being the two that are gunning for that position in the future. So exciting times. And look, sometimes you've got to go for these bargains. £6 million, very low risk, but could be really high reward. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I've seen some people say, well, why haven't we signed a 20 million or 25 million plus right back who's going to be a real upgrade to Matty Cash? This player could be still an upgrade to Matty Cash. He could just be an absolute bargain. We don't know. It's like I say, low risk, high reward. We could go back in the summer and sell a big name player for a huge amount of money and then have to go out and spend 25, 30 million on a right back. But why not wait until the summer to see if this comes off, or midway through next season, see if this comes off, and then, we can spend that money on another big name player in another position. So exciting to see, and it's good to see Villa making signings in the window. We've obviously got Marlon in the door. We've got Garcia now in the door. He's travelling in for his medical tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be announced at some point, either over the weekend or on Monday. So really exciting. Now, the other position that we're looking to strengthen is the centre-back position, and it could be a case of one in, one out. Looking like that at the moment. Diego Carlos. We said that Fenerbahce had pulled out of the deal and it was Galatasaray that became interested, but now it's looking like Fenerbahce was always on, and they've now agreed a deal to sign him for 13 million euros, so £10 million, which is a pretty good price, but also kind of gets Diego Carlos, as we've said, off the wage bill. I think he's been a really good player for us at certain times. Across the last couple of seasons, obviously had some massive performances against Manchester City, against Arsenal, particularly in those games where he's got, just a specific job and someone to man mark and someone to mark out the game. He does very, very well. Sometimes against the lower teams where we might have a bit more possession, or he's against a player that, takes him into areas that he doesn't want to go. Sometimes he can struggle a little bit for concentration and for giving the ball away. But yeah, came for a horrific injury and really was, a key part of last season. I think it was 38 appearances in all competitions last season, where we finished in the Champions League spots, got to the semi-finals of the Conference League. So if he does go, which I think he is going to now, goes with our best wishes, and 100,000 a week off the wage bill and all that kind of jazz. So yes, you've done your job, Diego. Go with our best wishes, and we've managed to get a good price for you. So what can we say? Good deal all round for everyone. But him going out means that a centre-back's coming in. And Loic Bade seems to be the man that we've managed to, I guess, steal a march on, with the likes of Liverpool waiting in the wings and one or two other clubs waiting in the wings, to kind of sign him for about 50 million euros now. Aston Villa seem like they've got him in a 30 million euro deal for a bit of a cut price. Sevilla seem to be a bit strapped for cash, needing the money, and Aston Villa, with the Monchi connection, have got in there and looks like they've done a deal. It's not obviously been confirmed yet. They're in talks, but I think the talks are a bit more advanced now. I think 2 or 3 days ago, Fabrizio Romano and one or two others had said we'd open up talks, but they seem to have gone further down the line now. He seems open to the move, and the club, Sevilla, look like they're going to do a deal. So looks like an exciting one, and he could be a real upgrade on, say, a Diego Carlos. Now, he's been at Sevilla, as I said, 43 appearances since 2023 as a full player. He was on loan, 19 games, 1 goal, was briefly on loan at Nottingham Forest, didn't make any appearances, and then played for Rennes before that, and Lens and Le Havre before that, and has played for the France under-21 team and the France Olympic team, but hasn't yet made a full appearance for the full international team. Now, in terms of his SOFA score, I think he's had a pretty good season, hence the reason why numerous clubs are interested in him. He's a true centre-back, on that right-hand side, maybe looking at the likes of an Ezri Konsa, so coming in to sort of challenge him or to be cover. We know we need centre-backs at the moment. It's Mings and Konsa as the stalwarts at the back, the old faithful, but we do need upgrades. We do need backup as well. Pau Torres is not back for another 6 to 8 weeks. So it's definitely an area that we need to strengthen. He's played 14 starts in 15 games, pretty much every minute of every game as well. Hasn't scored yet this season, has 1 assist. Obviously, that's not what he's there for. 86% in terms of passing accuracy, 93% in his own half, and 66% in the opposition half, and pretty good accuracy with chip passes as well. So knows comfortable with the ball, knows how to pass the ball around, and can obviously fit into how Unai Emery likes to play, I would imagine. As part of 5 clean sheets, 4.4 ball recoveries per game, 3.9 clearances per game, and only 1 error that's led to a shot this season. And in terms of those, look at the duels won, 65% total, 63% in terms of ground duels, and 69% in terms of aerial duels. So clearly a strength for him, winning tackles and winning headers, which is what I want in a centre-back predominantly anyway. Now, it was talked about another centre-back. Now, whether this is kind of a bit of a red herring, whether this is to kind of force the hand of Sevilla to want to do a deal, Kevin Danso was named today as potentially being of interest to Aston Villa. So take a little look at him. Currently 6'3", 26 years of age, plays for Lens, has since 2021, has 111 appearances and scored 4 goals, and has 24 caps for Austria, and has represented Austria right through from under 15s level. So very experienced player. Was also on loan at Southampton for a time, appearing 6 times, and also been on loan at Fortuna Dusseldorf, where he played 32 times and scored 2 goals. So has had a brief stint in English football, so does know a little bit about it, but I think has probably developed quite a bit since then. And it was Wolves, I believe, that were interested in him a few weeks ago. So has been on the radar for 1 or 2 English teams. His strength, again, is ground duels. Can play, look at that across the centre-back partnership. So can play on that right side, can play on that left side. 12 starts in 12 games, played every minute of those games. 2 team of the weeks, hasn't scored yet this season, and hasn't really assisted. But obviously, again, that's not what he's there for in terms of his accuracy. Similar stats, 94% in his own half and 76% in the opposition half. So similar to Bade. Not quite as good on the chip passes, 45%. Has been part of 5 clean sheets, 4.9 ball recoveries per game, 5 clearances per game, and 1.6 tackles per game. And then in terms of his aerial duels, won very similar, 64%. I think Bade's was 67%. Not quite as high in terms of the ground duels, but still, fairly strong in terms of that stat as well. So I guess similar types of players, strong, big, strong centre-backs who are going to put their body on the line and, head it and kick it, but can also be comfortable with the ball. And we know we need physicality in our team. Onana's in there, Mings is providing some physicality as well. But it's always good to have some real strong players. We're obviously losing some with Diego Carlos, so it'd be good to match that with another centre-back. I don't think it will be Danso. I think we're probably quite far along the line with Bade. And with those 3 that we get in, Bade, Garcia and Marlon, I think that is a really good window with the likes of Carlos, Jadon Philogene, and maybe 1 or 2 others to go out, whether that's a Buendia, obviously Kostin Nedeljkovic. And I've heard that Loic Bade is actually going to stay at Aston Villa. So we will see about that. It could still happen later on in the window, but I've kind of heard that he is going to stick around. And as I said the other day, 4 or 5 appearances in the Premier League can add a hell of a lot onto your price tag. So we will see. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with a match reaction tomorrow, hopefully with 3 points at Arsenal, and then full match reaction with the lads, and then Talking Tactics Fans Forum, hopefully with a special guest next week. Monaco preview, Monaco match reaction. The shows are going to come thick and fast, as well as these Transfer Talk Roundup shows as well, which I've loved doing. Please make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get your comments in down below, your thoughts on these signings and potential signings. And thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa.